You have probably heard of the war occurring in the Eastern DRC amongst the M23, Rwandan soldiers, and the South African National Defense Force. I've seen the news on the media stating different reasons behind the war, which obviously does not add up. So before we even get into it, I just wanna tell you that you have been lied to. First of all, the M23, also known as the March 23 movement, is an armed group consisting of over 8,000 fighters present in the North Kivu province, and basically their role is to fight off the Congolese forces. The armed group entered the center of Goma on a Sunday night with the intention of taking over the city. In that same area is where the South African National Defense Force is located, which led to a heavy exchange of fire amongst the three groups.
Tower, yeah. The red tower, red roof. Stop it. Remember the sandbags on the bottom, ne? So try to shoot just over it. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, slot. Yes, our number 2 is busy engaging over. Hey. No! No! Not yet over. Below! Chief at the back! Chief at the back! Chief, fire!
As you know, the government of today wants to benefit from every opportunity they see. So if you have something of which they require, they'll definitely try to negotiate with you. And if you don't agree, they won't hesitate to send out their innocent troops to war, fighting for not only their country, but their lives as well, as the ones in higher positions sit back hoping for victory.
It's a rejection of African standby force by the imperialist forces and the West because they benefit out of the instability of DRC and Africa in particular. If there is any country that was messed up right from the beginning, was DRC. They have been destabilizing that country for many years because they want those minerals in the DRC. They even created illegal landing strips to land in DRC, to steal directly from DRC and leave. There's nothing revolutionary about M23. Yes, we understand the dynamics of those who are found in that region and the leadership of DRC ill-treating them. But what is important is we cannot allow black-on-black violence. In whose interest is that? Why do you take up arms to kill other fellow Africans? So we should first stabilize DRC and support the SADC initiatives and support the UN intervention, because the stability of DRC means the stability of SADC, and the stability of SADC means the stability of our continent. So we should be concerned that there are problems in the DRC, and before they come to us, they have to be stopped in DRC. You don't wait for them to come to you for you to realize we have a problem. If they can do it in DRC, that will become a practice. And the African agenda is such that we have to go and help the people of DRC. But we must not do that to our own detriment. We have to deploy the best capacity we have. And if we don't have, let's confess we don't have it and withdraw. We may have the interest to defend, but we may not have the capacity. But children are going to die. Somebody's children are going to die, not only these ones. If you had shot 9 American soldiers with that madness which is in the presidents of America now, they would have flattened you the following day. No one would have played jokes. People are playing jokes with the lives of our brothers, and we must not allow that. If they can't give them equipment, let them come back.
A lot of people seem to be thinking that the M23 rebels are the wrong ones here, when all they were trying to do was to protect and reclaim what theirs.
Because all you hear is that Rwanda is supporting M23 rebels. The DRC government is fighting against the M23 rebels to take the eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's what you hear in the news every day. During the infamous Berlin Conference in Europe, when Europeans were dividing Africa amongst themselves, the Belgians took Congo, the Germans took Rwanda, Germans took Tanzania as well, and the English took Uganda, carving out this area amongst themselves as Europeans. They didn't care which tribes they were cutting in between. Most tribes in Africa have been cut in between. At the borders of most African countries, you find that the same tribe is found on each side of the border. It is very common across Africa because the Europeans did not care how they are dividing these tribes. All they did is just, you're taking this, we're taking this, you're taking this, we're taking this. So that's how they divided the DR Congo, Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi, Tanzania, around that area. And the Tutsi tribe ended up having its territory divided between 2 countries, Rwanda and the then Zaire, which is today's Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, why are the M23 rebels fighting against the Democratic Republic of Congo forces and the United Nations in the eastern part of the Republic of Congo? The M23 rebels are a rebel group that was formed by the Tutsis themselves to defend their territory, which is the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, to defend against who? Against the Democratic Republic of Congo government, which has been trying to take over their land, the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, for decades now. You might be wondering how a group of people might be trying to defend themselves against their own government in their own country. Countries like the United States, China, and Russia have gone to the Democratic Republic of Congo, have chosen territories that they want to take over, and they've armed tribes that live there to fight off some tribes. So weaker tribes are taken over. So every tribe in the Congo DRC has to arm itself to the teeth. Those who have more arms and stronger, they take more territory. Government is in on it. The United States, the EU, they use the United Nations troops as cover for gang warfare that is going on in the DRC. There's no government in the DRC. They call themselves government, yes, because they run things from Kinshasa. But in actual fact, they are a gang that represents the United States, France, and others to loot the DRC. And what do? The Democratic Republic of Congo forces themselves will go out there and displace their own people off their land and allow American, British, and Belgian and French companies to be mining on those lands while the indigenous people on those lands have been displaced into refugee camps. Some have been displaced into other countries. Generations are born outside the Congo because they can't go back. They've been displaced and their lands are being guarded by the gun, under the watch of the Democratic Republic of Congo government. This is why the Tutsis in the eastern part of the Congo armed themselves, starting with the Banyamulenge, now with the M23. Because if you don't arm yourself in the DRC as a tribe, you are finished, especially if you have rich land like the eastern part of the DRC that belongs to the Tutsis. So the M23 rebels had to arm themselves to fight to defend their territory. The eastern part of Congo is rich with uranium, lithium, and other semiconductor minerals that are used to make phones and drones and everything. So now the world is moving towards drones and phones, these smartphones and everything, and electric car batteries and everything. And these minerals are in abundance in the eastern part of the Congo. Are you following me? So government forces are fighting to take the eastern part of the Congo away from the Tutsis. The Democratic Republic of Congo government is not being very honest. The truth is they are fighting to take away the eastern part of the Congo so that the United States and other countries can enjoy exploiting those minerals in the eastern part of Congo after displacing the people, the Tutsis, the rightful owners of the eastern part of the Congo.
The Eastern DRC is rich in minerals used in modern technology. And as you've heard, the rightful owners of that land are not only fighting against their own government, but the United Nations government, the South African government, and a lot more. South Africa has declared the loss of 13 dedicated soldiers, which led to a circulation of a video whereas their troops raised a white flag to the M23.
That can fly, the wind can play with it. So surrender ka jam jacket vet. But still is still shooting. Only one material white flag. Ba utlwile ba fana ba patla moswi.
People believed this was a sign to surrender, and later the SANDF released a statement stating otherwise, claiming that it was a sign to open for discussions and a safety passage for the injured ones, but claimed to still be under the operation. My name is Jay, and this is Moment in Future, pulling you into the truth.